got together summer of '66 because Bob and I were getting music lessons at the same place, and I think the instructor there told one of us about the other. I had been learning to play the tenor sax, but after rock and roll was starting to happen, I started taking guitar lessons. Bob had a trio already set up.
I was with Tim Vedder and Peter Belknap before we met Ed and Eric, and we called ourselves the Better Set.
And we got in touch, and that made 4, and I've lost how I got in contact with Eric. Lost now. You cut all that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then came up with the idea of the Blue Brigade for brief.
Yeah, we were in your basement, and we were trying to figure out our name, and your dad came down. He goes, "Well, why don't you call yourselves the Brigade?"
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
And I think...
Yes, it was your dad.
And I think I pushed for Blue Brigade somehow. I don't remember whether they're...
Oh, yeah. So
knock off on blues?
Because we wore blue jackets. We dropped the blue at some point.
Brigade was like Beatles, sort of.
Yeah. There's been a number of other groups I've looked up. If you Google Brigade, there's a bunch of Brigade bands, but we were the first. Players on the album who are not here today. Peter Belknap, he was the lead singer, and Dennis Steigel was on bass. And then earlier on, when we first got together, there was Tim Vedder, the late Tim Vedder. He played bass, rhythm guitar also, I think, but we wanted him to play bass. And Mark Hartman.
Mark played with us for the longest period, I think, before we did the album.
We practiced in all 3 of our basements. So we're actually a basement band more than garage band.
Because of a change in me, I have got so little time to play.
We practiced consistently. I think it was Tuesday and Thursday nights.
Yeah.
We did it because we loved making music and creating music and everything. And it was just so much fun.
Yeah, for me, it was my main thing in high school.
If we weren't laughing all the time, we were, in between.
I didn't play like football or baseball. I played music. So it was a big deal.
Yeah.
When you think about '66, that was the heart of the Beatles period. So Beatlemania was crazy. And I can remember very vividly when they came on Ed Sullivan the first time. And I know within weeks I had a guitar. It was just so overwhelmingly cool.
Yeah, I like other drummers that started up after we saw Ringo play. All kinds of guys picked up drums and bought Ludwig drum kits to be like Ringo. So, how many cover tunes did we learn? That had to be over 100.
At least.
Yeah, it was. Well, we started with the 2 and 3 chord songs.
Yeah.
And
we did
3 and 4.
Louie.
Yeah, Twist and Shout, You Really Got Me, all those are 4 chord.
We played great G chords, great A chords.
Along came Three Dog Night, and I remember playing several Iron Butterfly.
Fire by, who was that by?
Arthur Brown.
Arthur Brown, yeah.
His message was a little funny, but his music was really good.
Yeah.
But you could rock them with a Hammond organ with
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Because as we transitioned into longer and more complicated songs, the Doors came out with 7 minutes, Light My Fire. Again, we learned that for note.
Yeah, I mean, so many new songs were coming out. We'd have to constantly be learning new songs to stay like on top of the market.
Yeah, well, they wanted to hear the latest, so we can get everybody dancing was like a big accomplishment and a gratification personally. This was a period of dances every weekend at the armories, the teen clubs, the high schools, constantly having
We went
dances.
all over the Northwest.
Colleges, Northwest, Washington, or Oregon, yeah.
We had over 100 gigs, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 123.
123.
I was doing most of the kind of managing, and I just split up the money for you guys. So.
Right. And
Which makes us wonder, but anyway.
yeah, well.
You bought a white van, and I remember you took spray paint inside to spray it to make it look cool. But we would haul
Psychedelic years, right?
Well, we hauled everything in there, and there's only 2 front seats, so somebody would sit in the engine compartment.
It was a Ford Econo where they have the engine between the 2 seats.
Right. So there was 2 seats up front. Somebody sit in the engine, and the other 2 guys would be laying on the amplifiers.
Yeah,
That's-
many trips.
The days and times of today's broom pusher never gets ahead in a world of old. Takes his
So in that period, we all listened to KISN radio. KISN was the biggest station in town. I can remember turning it on every night. I played it during homework, which is why I got C's and D's, but other people, everybody was listening to the same music, and that was the invention of the top 40, where they rotated the top songs of the week. So in 1967, KISN Radio started running a teen fair in the Memorial Coliseum with lots of bands, and we entered it and played against a lot of bands, but walked away with nothing. But in 1968, they claimed there were 99 bands there, and we won it. The main prizes for winning Battle of the Bands were a recording contract, a chance to play with Sly and the Family Stone, whose record Dance to the Music was topping the chart at the time, and a purple 56 Cadillac hearse that was sort of intended to be something that you could move your equipment around with. But it was way too small at that point for all of our equipment.
Yeah, it was way too small.
But that purple hearse got a lot more chick attention than hot rodders, the guys in the cool cars.
I love her in the morning when we ride.
We were pretty excited after winning the Battle of Bands, especially because of this recording contract, which had started and super rocked them. There was even an article about Billboard magazine saying that American Record Company was going to build a studio, they were going to select bands, and the Brigade was one of the ones that was selected. So we go to this first recording session. It was in a small, like a mini business on Interstate Avenue in North Portland, and it's kind of crowded in there. There was an air conditioner over my head. Ed Wallo played his guitar in a bathroom on top of a toilet. I don't even remember if the other people were in the room, but it was kind of disjointed and just didn't feel quite right. And sure enough, after maybe 2 or 3 sessions, it all fell apart. And that's when we thought we're going to have to do this all on our own somehow. About this time, we started writing our own songs. Eric, Peter, and Ed, and as a group, we wrote the songs together. At that time, Ed started using a wah-wah pedal with his guitar, and Eric either got a Hammond organ or Leslie was at the time.
We recorded this in February 1970, and it took maybe a week or so. We recorded this at the house of the president of Tektronix, and it's an organ house that they had built to bring in the organ from the San Francisco Opera. It's a big 5-layer level organ, and they built the house just for that. Charlie Volin, he did the recording. You got to take my hat off to him. He did a really good job. I had the Hammond and the Leslie, and he mic'd those equivalent to Arthur Brown or Steppenwolf. These songs were all recorded live. There was no separate recordings. It was basically not one take, but one take to do it, no editing on it.
A lot of Peter Belknap's artwork's inside it. He did all the graphics.
They called himself liner designer.
Yeah. The back of the album has pictures of us recording. The front of an album, the picture we were in an abandoned church or hall We just set up all our equipment, and that's where all the shots were taken for it.
Not actually all the songs were written before we went in there. The last song, Everybody's Laughing, we kind of did a jury rig that song at the last minute, and it came out okay. So much that we felt we had the last laugh.
Everybody is laughing.